Bring all of who you are into your day job. Whatever is doing your head in about your current job and role will carry over into the next job or role. You can't outrun your energy and your lessons, and our energy precedes matter. How do we love our job when we hate our job? Hello and welcome back to Empowering from Within. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here. Today I'm going to talk about how to use universal laws and energetic laws to help us when we find ourselves in that very common scenario where we hate our day jobs. And I'm seeing this a lot in my social circle, in my clients, and everywhere, that people resent and hate their jobs. And there are many laws that we can use to our advantage to hack the system a little bit and find more enjoyment and fulfillment in our day-to-day work and unlock that, beautiful electromagnetic field where we love every part of our life and our energy is humming and we are at a frequency and resonance with more and more good stuff. Because if we have one area of our life that we hate and detest and we resent going in there and we're miserable, then that is going to spill over into all the other areas of life. So how do we love our job when we hate our job? And the laws that we're going to talk about are the law of focus, where attention goes, energy grows. Whatever we focus on is amplified and magnified. We are going to talk about the law of opposing forces, which is always at play. And once you know it and you can see that you're taking up like 100% of the pro something energy, then life and the energy around you is going to have to take up 0% of the energy. And whatever we resist persists. So if you really want to leave your job, then you're going to find yourself in a circumstance where your whole energy field around you and the larger field around your energy is going to be pushing back at an equal and opposite force and saying you really can't leave your job. So law of focus, law of opposing forces, and the law of reflections is key. And then just knowing that if you are drawn to this podcast, it is very highly likely that you are an old soul. You have a higher, more elevated consciousness than the average bear out there. And people who are old souls and have a high consciousness are here to do something that is like a divine assignment, a purpose, a mission with this lifetime. And you will not feel fulfilled unless you are serving people and unless you are changing lives. That is, the old souls, most fulfilling, joyous, rewarding life is when they are here making a difference and have a meaningful job that changes lives. So that is a very key part of understanding what your purpose and mission is. And even though you might be, let's say, a doctor's receptionist or a lawyer or a stay-at-home mum right now, that is still part of your mission and purpose. And that is still giving you skills and qualities and knowledge that you need in order to fulfill the entirety of your soul purpose. And even your challenges and obstacles in life are all part of your mission. So it's about taking all of who you are into your day job and your most authentic self. Because if you are someone, let's say, who is spiritual or who is really into self-development or who really loves gardening, and you don't take that part of you into your everyday job or your role as a stay-at-home mum or whatever season of life you're in, then you are missing out on true fulfillment because you're not able to be yourself and you're being some other version of yourself, which is, putting on a performance and living in ego, trying to get approval from everyone outside of you and people please and be who everyone wants you to be. But also you're missing out on giving everyone the life change around you that they might need from you. So you might go to the office and start talking about spirituality or a self-help thing that you've just come across in your personal life, and your client or whoever you're hanging out with, your colleagues or your children even, may hear something come out of your mouth that they needed to hear to have a massive revelation in their own life. Or you might give someone permission to be themselves in your workplace if you are talking about gardening or whatever. Or you might spark some insane creative joy in your child that they needed to hear and they couldn't hear from anyone else but you by just talking about your gardening or your self-development tools or whatever it is. And the ripple effect of us being our most genuine, authentic selves and bringing all of who we are to the table in our day jobs or our current roles is huge and profound. So don't underestimate how stripping away the ego and not being a cookie cutter, clock in, clock out in your performance ego self at work can diminish what you are here to do. And it can mean that you are not serving everyone that you are here to serve. So if you're an old soul, bring all of who you are into your day job. First, you're going to feel a lot more relaxed. You're going to be in a better mood because you're not going to be trying to hide parts of yourself or be someone that you're not. And secondly, it is guaranteed that just being yourself will inspire other people and will give other people permission to be their most genuine, authentic selves. Now, in terms of the law of opposing forces, this can be helped by focusing on less of the tasks of your job and more focusing on the skill sets it requires. And this is taking the law of focus and the law of opposing forces both into account by understanding that whatever your mission is in life requires certain skill sets of you. It requires certain characteristics and attributes that only you have and that only your life experience could have set you up to have. So even like all your relationship breakups, all your illnesses, every single challenge and obstacle that you've been through has set you up to obtain the growth, insights, perspectives, skills, and capabilities that you need for your mission and your purpose. So understanding what lights you up and what skill sets are your natural innate gifts and focusing on 3 or 4 of them every time you go into your day job or your current role is going to bring a huge element of joy and fulfillment into mundane tasks. So let's say one of your skill sets is communication. One of them is nurturing and one of them is leadership. Well, instead of sending just like 10 emails in a row and having to have client meetings and having to pick your kids up from school, depending on what your day job entails, suddenly now you are actually engaging your genius, brilliant skill sets and sending emails in a tone that incorporates your leadership in a way that uses your care and nurturance and using your brilliant communication skills and trying to engage and up-level your communication. Like if you wanted to grow and engage one of your skill sets and it was communication, well, hanging out with a toddler all day, if you're a stay-at-home mom, is a genius way to up-level your communication. If you are sending emails all day, instead of just seeing it as tasks and punching in and punching out and watching the clock all day, you can start to come alive and engage your genius in communicating in a way that is high frequency, that is, taking the other person's position into account, that is trying to get what you want with as little conflict as possible, trying to problem solve, bringing your care and nurturance into it and seeing everyone's sides while also pushing for the end result that you are trying to get to through your genius words and the way that you phrase things and knowing that certain things will trigger people. Like this is all suddenly a mastery skill set coming on board and it is no longer just 10 emails that you need to send in a row. Same goes for interacting with your colleagues. If you are someone who lights up from care and nurturance and communication, well, you can bring that into the morning coffees and suddenly you're not like, I need to be here for no reason and you're focusing on all the things that you could be doing or how it's wasting your time or you hate, these 5 things about the job. Your law of focusing your genius and your skill sets and the impact that will have on your creative field and your electromagnetic field where you are lit up and growing and using the assets and skill sets that only you have will make you so much more magnetic and make you excited and pumped to go into your work, and you will see it as an extension of just you being your most genuine, authentic, lit up self, rather than punching in and punching out at the start and the end of the day. Same goes with being a stay-at-home mum. There is a reason for that season if you are currently a stay-at-home mum. And even if you're not a stay-at-home mum, but you're a mum and you feel like, oh, I just need a weekend without the kids, or I just need a night where I'm not engaging with the kids, if you're suddenly seeing it as an engagement of your innate qualities and assets and skill sets, then the interactions you are going to have and the activities that you are going to organize and the creativity and the fun and the fulfillment is going to be so amplified. And when we are focusing on that and focusing on our genuine, unique value that we are bringing into all our roles, then we are setting our life up to just expand and magnetize and amplify all the brilliance and all the things that we love to do and the things that light us up, rather than saying like, I need to put these skill sets to one side while I go hang out with my kids or I go and punch in at my day job. We can bring all of who we are, and we can law of focus all the brilliant skill sets that we are bringing. Now, law of opposing forces will also be dissipated when we are proactively loving our job, because if we are taking up the position of I hate my job and I'm resisting my job, well, it is going to lock your job into place even harder. Whereas if we are seeing it as something that we love and willingly do, well, our life is only going to start reflecting back to us the fact that we are engaging in activities that we love and want to willingly do. And so before you torch down your job and quit your job, try engaging with your skill sets first for at least a few weeks to months, because it is going to change the game. And even if you quit your job because you truly can't bear it, or you quit whatever role you're doing, whatever is doing your head in about your current job and role will carry over into the next job or role. You can't outrun your energy and your lessons, and our energy precedes matter. So if you have reflections and are triggered and resentful and annoyed at your current workplace and you quit and go to the next one, it's only going to get louder. So you may as well, while you have a bird in the hand, start engaging your skill sets and then working with the law of reflections. And every time your current role triggers you, start to shift the underlying belief or emotion that is bubbling up, because our life is simply a mirror of what's happening inside of us. And so if you are finding that your colleagues are annoying, that your boss is too hard on you, that your kids aren't appreciative of you, well, that is a reflection of your own energy. And that is showing you that somewhere there is something irritating you and you are being too hard on yourself and you are not appreciating yourself. And we need to give that to ourselves first before it's going to be mirrored back to us. We are the source and life is the mirror. So use the opportunity of hating your job to be like, right, I'm going to engage my skill sets and I'm going to shift all my reflections so they don't get louder when it's time to actually leave, because it's going to expedite your growth and it's going to expedite you getting more and more and more in line with your exact soul mission and purpose. And the next job you have will be even more aligned, even more joyful, even more fulfilling, and with less reflections. So if you get a reflection at work, we know what to do. We've covered this in previous podcasts, but as a refresher, a reflection is a trigger or a difficult emotion that is popping up in an area of life. Right now we're talking about career, but if it's happening in career, you can almost be certain that it's coming from another area of life. So if your boss is being really, really, really hard on you, or nothing you do is good enough, then look around your life and see where you are being really, really hard on yourself and not feeling good enough. Is it your physical body? Are you being super critical of your physical body? Are you being harsh about your mental processes and how you show up in the world? Are you beating up on yourself every time you go out socially? Is it coming from the social area of life? Again, The 8 areas of life have been covered in previous podcasts. I'll run through them quickly here. Career, family, financial, mental, passion, hobby. We need a passion hobby in order to feel passionate and enthusiastic about our lives. Perhaps if you feel completely passionless at work, you need to sign up for a passion hobby. I'm currently doing horse riding and loving it. Physical area of life, which is your physical body, how you taste, touch, see, hear the world. Social area of life, and spiritual area of life, which is, self-development and all that jazz, and connection to your intuition. If you feel like you want to grow your intuition, use your day job to make every decision intuitively and start to play a little bit. Bring an element of play and engaging the things that light you up outside of your day job into your current work. And I can tell you, once you start making these little changes of focusing on your skill sets, of dropping the opposition to your job and proactively just jumping in there and trying to enjoy it, shifting your reflections and actively seeing when you're triggered in your place of work and how that might be actually coming from another area of life, shifting the limiting beliefs underneath so that it no longer triggers you or that you are no longer a match to receive whatever treatment you are getting in your workplace, because you will have shifted your energy, and that person who is being hard on you or annoying or whatever it is will no longer do that to you because they can no longer have that instruction being handed out from your energy. And you will start to see that your enjoyment and fulfillment of what you're doing and your authenticity and ability to be yourself wherever you go, and your ability to change lives and serve whoever is in front of you, even if it's not your dream day job, will be fully amplified, and you will start magnetizing and drawing different opportunities into your life. And you will know when it is time to go. You do not want to leave a job until it is the best it's ever been. Same with a relationship. You do not want to leave a relationship until it is the best it has ever been, and you can walk away through choice and with grace. Because otherwise, all the lessons and growth that job or relationship and the skill sets and capabilities that it is trying to call forth from you will show up louder and harder in the next place you go. So this is how we hack the system. This is how we feel fulfilled in whatever role we are currently in. This is how we empower from within, and we no longer need everything outside of us to make us feel what we want to feel. This is taking our lives into our own hands, and I can tell you the external will shift once you shift your internal world and work with these laws. Law of focusing your skill sets, dropping your opposition, using the law of reflections, and being in your most genuine, authentic self, and bringing all of who you are to get yourself onto your soul purpose and soul mission and serve the people around you as much as you possibly can, will shift the external quicker than you can even imagine, and much quicker than just torching down your job and burning your job to the ground and moving on to the next one. You're going to just be stuck in the same repeating cycles and the same patterns and problems, and you're never going to get anywhere until you shift internally. So as always, if you need help or guidance with shifting reflections or uncovering your genius skill sets or getting hardcore onto your soul purpose and soul mission, I am here. Hit me up in my DMs at Phoebesgram on Instagram, or head to phoebestewart.com. It would be my honor to help you, and it would be my privilege to get you on your soul purpose and your mission here in life, because that is the name of the game. That is why we are all here in this world, is to live a life that is fulfilling, enjoyable, and serving the people that we came here to serve. So as always, much love, sending everyone an excellent work week ahead, and so much love. Thank you so much for being here today. If you want to keep hanging out, because I sure do, then head to my Instagram at Phoebesgram or my website, phoebestewart.com.